Now, it is important you understand that God is a generic term and does not connote the entirety of the being that it is ascribed to. So when you hear God, you cannot really tell what to expect because the sounding of that name does not really communicate much. Are you listening to me? It is like saying man. It's like saying woman. It's like saying house. It is like saying boy. It is too generic. Yes, it gives you an indication that we are dealing with a male personality when you say boy. It gives you an indication that it's a female personality when we say girl. It gives you that it's a place of maybe habitation, or a place that people can go to and transact business. But it doesn't tell you which type, when you hear house or you hear building. Because there are different types of buildings. There are story buildings. There are skyscrapers. There are schools, buildings that serve as schools. There are hospitals. There are churches. They are all buildings. So when you hear God, it doesn't really communicate much. And many of us, that is what we've been acquainted with. That is what was introduced to us. You know, yesterday, when I left here around 2 a.m., I was going home around 2 a.m., and I was just meditating. I said, how come they didn't teach us like this? Why did they teach us the other one? And all we know is God, 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 God. But God doesn't really communicate much. He doesn't communicate much at all. And he never wanted us to know him as God. As God, he wanted to be more personal with us. Okay. That's what he wanted. Yes, he is as God. It speaks of a certain supreme being, a certain deity. And that is why we have other gods. And to differentiate this one from the others, we say God, G, capital G. Then, but in essence, it's the same. As a supreme being, a supernatural being. It's a God. Even though he is supreme in his being, he's supernatural in his ways of doing things, he had wanted a more personal relationship with the people that he made. However, whether it was through negligence or a lack of diligence from those who received the message, we have only known him as a deity. And that has affected us in our dealings with him. We see him as someone who is very distant from us. Somewhere in space, in a region beyond the visibility of the eye, somewhere far away, he exists. And he looks down upon the earth as God. But he has never wanted to relate with us as God. So even though he is God, we want to talk about his fatherhood nature. How that as God, he is a father. Now, as I'm here, I am a pastor. I am a husband. I am a father to some people. I am a classmate to some people. If I meet my classmates, he may likely call me Kofi or David. There's nothing wrong with that. Because that is one type of relationship that he has with me. It's not out of disrespect. But we're colleagues. A husband, as a husband, the wife would also expect some form of relationship. If I were to be in school, my lecturers will relate with me as their student. They will give me assignment. If I was that small, they will spank me. Have you forgotten the mother of Jesus rebuked him, said that, why is it that you've made us to suffer like that? They were rebuking the Son of God. Because that was a different type of relationship. So like I said, even though he's God, he is a father. And actually, that is how he reveals himself most of the time in the scriptures. Now, what is a father right there? A father means the Hebrew word and the Greek word, they communicate the same thing. In Hebrew, you see Abba. Abba. And in Greek, you see the word pater. P-A-T-E-R. And they both communicate the same ideology as source, as originator. Also as creator. So whenever you communicate father, it means that you are ascribing to this personality the nature as the source of something. Very important for you to understand this. You are ascribing to him the nature as the originator. That means that he is the origin. Some things must begin from him. Things must have their source in him if he's a father. That means he is big enough to supply. And it was that nature or that attribute of his that he revealed to Abraham. And Abraham said, El Shaddai. How did Abraham know him as El Shaddai? Because Abraham was initially told to take his son to Mount Moriah and find there as a sacrifice to God. And prophetically, when his son asked him that, Father, the father I see, the wood I see, where is the animal for the sacrifice? Abraham prophetically declared and said, my son, God shall provide a lamb for the sacrifice. And truly, on the mountain, when Abraham had fulfilled all demands of obedience, the Bible says that an angel spoke from heaven and said, do the lad no harm. He said, Abraham looked, and the Bible said he saw a ram caught in a thicket. He took that for the sacrifice and said, truly, he is El Shaddai. Which means the many-breasted one. The one who has enough breasts to supply the needs of all his children. So that expression communicated someone who could supply. Are you listening to me? Yes, please don't picture God as having breasts, literally. So today we went to church, they said, Pastor said that God has breasts. It's a Hebrew expression for us to know that he can supply. So he calls it the many-breasted one. That it doesn't matter how many people want to sack. There's enough for everyone. Are you listening to him? So now in the Old Testament, the fatherhood of God was revealed first as a creator. Write that. Follow the progression. Don't lose track. Don't let Satan make you lose track. Follow the progression. Because we are going somewhere with it. So the fatherhood of God was revealed first as a creator. Then it was later revealed in his covenant relationship with the nation of Israel. So the covenant relationship that he had with Israel also showcased him as a father. I will see that very soon. So this is how he's revealed mainly in the Old Testament. One, as a creator, and two, in his covenant relationship with Israel.